as some of your ears if you have the alert system on. So please only write in the text chat now that class is starting if there's something that you need to say. So here we are in week 7 of robotics. Definitely crazy that we are this far along in the class. We are going to have a sort of different class today than we've had in the past. And we are going to start by looking at programming like we did last week. Last week when we looked at programming, we started looking at some puzzles in Robuzzle. So we are going to go ahead and do that now again. I'm going to put the picture up on the whiteboard for you. When you are using Robuzzle, please remember you use the arrow keys, and that is how you will tell me which way you want it to turn: right, go straight, or turn left. So in a second, you should be able to see my screen. All right. Okay, if you look up on your PowerPoint screen and you make that part louder, or larger, I'm sorry, it's still loading. Hopefully we are going to see a Robuzzle puzzle here soon. Let me see what the issue is here. Oh, puzzles. Okay, so here we have a picture that you should be able to see on your desktop. Now we are going to do a quick little reminder about computer programming, which is what we talked about last week. What I would like you guys to do is individually, we're not going to split up into groups today, we will later today. I would like you individually to go ahead and write down what you would do to solve this. How would you have our little arrow move through this puzzle? And then we will go ahead and give it a shot. So go ahead and write how you would do this. It should be up on your PowerPoint screen, Joseph. See if you see it up on your PowerPoint screen. Do you see it up there? If you don't, go ahead and refresh your screen. Okay, those of you that are done, we're going to give everyone a minute to complete it. You don't need to write it anywhere. Just go ahead and Either put it on a piece of scratch paper, put it somewhere, but we're not going to put it up on the whiteboard yet. We're going to talk about it in a minute. Okay, I'm going to give you guys one more minute. Okay, it looks like a lot of you have said you were done. Is there anyone who would like to share what they have? And as you're sharing, I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Raise your hand if you would like to share what you have done. All right, Kyle, your hand was up first, so we are going to let you share with us. Oh, go ahead, Kyle. Let me know what you did.
I think you would go 7 or 6, and then you would turn down, then go another 7 or 6.
Okay, I think that would work. The only problem is it only gives us, and I guess this may have been hard to see on your screens, it only gives us 3 spots. So that certainly would work, but I don't think it's going to work here. Now, if you remembered from the video that we saw last week, there was something that you could do with the colors. Joseph, to refresh your screen, you're going to refresh your browser. So there should be a refresh button on the top, or you can go ahead and log out and log back in. So Dylan, do you have a way to solve this in just 3 buttons? Do you have a guess, Dylan?
What I would think you'd do is on the on right to the right where it says F1, you would put the forward command, and then on the space next to it where it says 1, I would put F1, and then where it says 2, I would put the turn right command with the blue color on it.
All right, Dylan, if you could just repeat it one more time. You had the go straight, and then what did you have?
Right, it was go straight, and then it was then on the next tile I'd put F1, and then on the next one I would put the turn right with blue on there, and then I put the blue on the turn right.
All right, so that worked a little. It got our guy moving all the way down, but he didn't turn in the right spot. Anyone have a guess as to how we can modify this? Clinton, go ahead.
We could put the forward, then on the F1 put red. So it's just going on the red going straight, and then blue to turn down.
All right, well, he just kept turning on the blue. Anyone have a guess as to how we can modify this yet again? Kyle, go ahead.
Put the red on the arrow to go straight. Then put the blue and have the, yeah, and then put the blue on the turn right, just like it was. And I think that might work.
All right, let's give this one a shot. All right, he keeps stopping. So let's try this. It seemed to me, Joseph, you have a guess?
Do the arrow up, do the turn blue, and then put the F1 last.
Awesome, great job. That was it. The arrow straight or up straight was telling our little arrow robot to move forward until it hit a blue. Then it was telling us to move right or turn right. Then it was telling us to move forward again because it had us redo F1, which is go straight until you hit a blue. Great job figuring that out. This was kind of a little activity for us. I'm going to stop sharing now. This was kind of a little activity for us to look at how difficult programming a robot actually is. Last week we did some really easy examples. This week definitely was much, much more difficult. You have to be very precise when you are programming a robot. Robots cannot think on their own. They cannot make a decision. They only do exactly what you tell them to do. So our little arrow robot was doing exactly what we told it to do. Great job and a great review from last week. Now last week your homework was to finish up. Let me grab mine here. Your elevators. So, get it in here. What I would like to do is if you would like to share your elevator, I would love to see some of the elevators you guys made. I know sometimes we have some modifications. You're all going to get a chance to show whoever wants to share. What I would like to do is as we're sharing, these elevators that we made, they're not a robot. They have nothing robotic about them, but they are used in lots of different robots. For example, there are elevators in robots that are used to move things up and down and lift things. And they can be programmed, a robot can be programmed to do that. So when you share your picture with me, go ahead and let me know if you can think of any ways elevators or elevator type systems can be used in a robot. So I'm going to go right down the list. If you want to share when I say your name, go ahead and turn on your video camera. I'm going to go ahead and turn mine off now. So Clinton, would you like to share yours? Just raise your hand if when I say your name you want to share. All right, here comes Clinton. Now, what do you think elevators can be used for in robots?
I think elevators can be used in robots by lifting, like a forklift can lift up heavy pieces of metal, but in some robots they can lift up big pieces of metal like forklifts.
All right, fantastic. Dean, would you like to share your elevator with us? Go right ahead. And what do you think robots can use elevators for?
First of all, I couldn't find my string, so I had to use a really thin string, but it still works. I think elevators, like, if they're turned on its side, then, like, if it's a really long string, then they could pull it across long rivers or something like that under the water, transporting supplies.
Great job. That's a great idea for use of an elevator or an elevator type system in robots. Okay, Dylan, you are next. Would you like to share? Okay, remember if you want to share when I say your name, go ahead and raise your hand so I know to turn your camera on. Joseph, would you like to? All right, Joseph, yours is on. Go right ahead.
Elevators can help robots go up or down.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Joseph. Kyle, would you like to share your elevator and tell us what you think elevators can be used for? Go right ahead.
Elevators could be used to help robots lift heavy things from one place to another. They could lift things that humans could not lift or that a robot could not lift without an elevator.
Great job. Thank you, Kyle. Lindsay, you're up. Would you like to share yours with us? Raise your hand if you do. All right, Luke, would you like to go ahead and share with us, Luke? Raise your hand if you would. All right, Millie, would you like to share yours with us? All right, there should be a little button that just showed up underneath where the videos are. There, here you come. All right, your video seems to be taking a while to load, Millie. So go ahead and let's try it again. Go ahead and click the OK button for me and we'll see if it loads quicker this time. All right, it doesn't seem to be loading. Seth, would you like to share your video with us? Raise your hand if you would like to share. No? All right, Stephen, would you like to share with us? All right, fantastic. Okay, thank you guys for those of you who decided to share your elevators with us. For those of you who didn't, that's fine. Not a problem whatsoever. So, we are going to, today, focus on some amazing robots. Go ahead and raise your hand if you have ever heard of the cartoon The Jetsons. All right, a few of you have. Now, the Jetsons cartoon is a cartoon based in the future. Maybe a cartoon you guys have seen on like Cartoon Network or Boomerang, one of those types of shows, but definitely not a cartoon that's on today. It's a cartoon from when I was a kid. The Jetsons is based in the future. What we are going to do is I am going to have you guys watch a video. We're going to watch it twice. The first time, what I want you to do the first time, what I want you guys to do is just to pay attention to the video. Just watch it. Don't really think about anything. Don't concentrate on it. It's like a 2 or 3 minute video. I want you just to go ahead and watch it. I'm going to turn my video off and I'm going to try to share it on my desktop so that we all can go ahead and see it. I know some of you have trouble with YouTube sometime. So give me 1 second to pull it up. Okay, so I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see my screen and go ahead and watch this video on amazing robots of the future.
The day of living like the Jetsons, mechanized made and all, gets closer all the time. Here are 10 great robots, some of which are even available to the public. Number 10, Honda's Asimo. The humanoid robot stands a bit over 4 feet and weighs in at 119 pounds. But its developers have packed a whole lot of functionality into its modest frame. Asimo can do sign language, play soccer, and even serve drinks. Number 9, Karatus. If you ever dreamed of being the pilot of a great big robot, this is your chance. Located within its 13-foot-tall frame is enough room for an onboard commander. Oh, by the way, it can be controlled with an iPhone. Number 8, Atlas. Commissioned by the Pentagon and engineered by Boston Dynamics, this disaster rescue dynamo is built to perform the heroic task of saving lives without risking its own. Number 7, termite robots. These little guys are designed to do tough, tedious building work, and their way of working was inspired by termites. The bots assess their environment, take cues from one another, and get to work even though they haven't a clue of the bigger plan. Number 6, Cheetah Cub. Wanting to know how to make robots take control of tough terrain with the grace of a feline, scientists at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology made a robotic cat. Using it, they can assess joint force and agility without having to harm an actual animal. Number 5, Wildcat. Not to be confused with the aforementioned Cheetah Cub, the Wildcat is the newest generation of Boston Dynamics' Cheetah robot line. These machines are made for speed, traveling up to 29 miles per hour. While previous versions were indoor sorts, this one is suited to run free. Number 4. e0b Virtual Student. Stuck at home with a severe immune disorder, a student in Texas is now able to attend classes thanks to a robot. She can power the virtual version of herself via internet and participate in what's going on thanks to a webcam.
Miranda suffers from a weak immune system that doesn't allow her to attend class in person, but thanks to this robot pilot program, she's back in the classroom.
Number 3. RoboFly. It's tiny and fast, weighing only 80 milligrams and flapping its wings up to 120 times per second. Once technology advances and can make it a battery small enough, the robotic insect is predicted to be a helpful tool in search and rescue missions. Number 2. The Mab. It flies around your house, senses where it's dirty, and then deploys a bunch of tiny little cleaning bots to make the area sparkle. It's just a concept, but was enough of one to win the Electrolux Design Lab competition. Number 1. Curiosity. NASA's Mars rover has accomplished far more than any other robot can imagine, so to speak. It's only been on the red planet for about a year and a half, but has already determined that there could have once been life there. If you could design a robot, what would you make it do?
Okay, so here we had a video that started out with a little scene of the Jetsons, and then it talked about 10 of the most amazing robots, either that are in the works or that have been created. Now, the one that I found the most intriguing was the one that will clean my house. And that's probably because I have to clean my house, so that is a task that I need to get done every day. So it would be very helpful to me. But what we are going to do first as a class is we are going to pick one of these robots. We are going to answer a couple of questions about these robots on the whiteboard. So we're going to brainstorm together. So I'm turning this back on. I'm turning all of your whiteboards on. And because I found them to be a little intriguing, we are going to look at the termite bots. We are going to, in each of these squares, yep, I don't want to know your favorite because you guys are we're going to break up into groups and you're going to work on a little project with each other. So we're going to work with the termite bots together as a class to kind of model what you are going to do as a group. So here we have the termite bots, and we are going to answer a couple of questions about the termite bots. We are going to write what they are used for now. Okay, easy enough. In this next square, we are going to write other applications or uses. In this block, we are going to write modifications you would make to this robot. And here we are going to write possible problems with this robot. Okay, first, it seems like a couple of you had a hard time watching the video. Go ahead and answer the poll, yes or no. Could you see the video that I sent? Okay, I'm waiting for one more response. Stephen, could you see the video that I sent? Yes or no? No. Okay, those of you whose video, who could not see my video, I think it is that your internet is slow picking up what I'm showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the website in the text chat. If you want to go ahead and open your browser and watch the video, go right ahead and do so while the rest of us work on this activity, and then you can go ahead and join back in. Unfortunately, Seth, even if you're hardwired in, the speed of your internet sometimes can be slow. The fact that most of the class was able to see it, I have to believe it's an issue on your end more so than an issue on my end. So what we are going to do the rest of us, is we are going to think about the termite bots. Now, the termite bots were the ones that they said were working to build something with each other without knowing the real end purpose. So, what are they used for now? Well, right now, according to the video, they are used to build things independently of each other, but still working together. No, it wasn't where my video was, Luke. It was where my PowerPoints normally show. Okay, in the video, it was actually building sort of just a fake tower. So they were building a fake tower. So what are some other applications for termite bots? Go ahead and, if you guys can think of any applications, go ahead and put them up on the whiteboard. Other applications or uses for termite bots. All right, great idea. They could be used to fix parts of a building. Anyone else have any ideas? I see someone writing up there in red. Go ahead and keep the ideas coming. Any other ideas? Put them up here. I can move them into the right boxes. Okay, so we have that they could be used to fix part of a building that are in hard-to-get places. Very nice. They build without knowing what they are building when it's finished. And they can be used to move boxes or blocks. Good job. Seth, if you're having a hard time with the whiteboard, make sure you click the A. Your whiteboard is unlocked. And then click on the whiteboard screen. Okay, so now let's see modifications. What modifications, if you were going to change this robot a little, these little termite bats, what modifications would you make? Go ahead and see if you can think of any and put them up in that block on the whiteboard. Or if you can't think of any modifications, can you think of any problems that you might come across if you were trying to use these little robots? What might a problem be, or what modification would you make? Okay, I just sent a few of you a note in your text chat. If your little envelope is blinking, go ahead and click on it for me. You'll only see it if I sent you a message. I sent one to Clinton, and I sent one to Dane. So if you, Clinton and Dane, if you could just check for me. Okay, so let's look at the modifications you guys would make to these robots. We have make them stronger. They could build bigger buildings so humans would not have to. I would make them so they are smaller but can't be too big or fit into small places. You have possible problems with this robot. They might get squished. They might make the building tall and it might be unsafe. The cleaning robot could get overheated or destroyed. The robot might be too small to build big and would get destroyed. Fantastic. What we are going to do now, I'm going to leave this on the whiteboard. Please do not erase it. What we are going to do now is I'm going to divide your class up into 3 groups. Each group, you're going to have a couple of minutes to pick one of the robots that we saw in that video. Then we are going to watch the video again. Hopefully those of you that could not see it would be able to see it this time, now that you know it's in the PowerPoint screen. Then you are going to answer these exact same questions as a group about whichever robot you choose. So the first group is going to be Group 1. Group 1 is going to have Clinton, Dylan, and Joseph in it. Group 2 is going to have Kyle, Lindsay, Luke, and Seth. Group 3 is going to have Dane, Stephen, and Millie. Okay, we are all back in the main group. It looks to me like each group has made a decision and you have the robot you are going to use. I am going to turn the video on again. Make sure when you are trying to watch it this time, you look at the top one that has the PowerPoints in normally, and this is where you will see the video. So we are going to go ahead and watch the video one more time, keeping your robot in particular in mind. You may want to make notes about your robot.
Now, can I get up?
The day of living like the Jetsons, mechanized made and all, gets closer all the time. Here are 10 great robots, some of which are even available to the public. Number 10, Honda's Asimo. The humanoid robot stands a bit over 4 feet and weighs in at 119 pounds. But its developers have packed a whole lot of functionality into its modest frame. Asimo can do sign language, play soccer, and even serve drinks. Number 9, Karatus. If you ever dreamed of being the pilot of a great big robot, this is your chance. Located within its 13-foot-tall frame is enough room for an onboard commander. Oh, by the way, it can be controlled with an iPhone. Number 8, Atlas. Commissioned by the Pentagon and engineered by Boston Dynamics, this disaster rescue dynamo is built to perform the heroic task of saving lives without risking its own. Number 7, termite robots. These little guys are designed to do tough, tedious building work, and their way of working was inspired by termites. The bots assess their environment, take cues from one another, and get to work even though they haven't a clue of the bigger plan. Number 6, Cheetah Cub. Wanting to know how to make robots take control of tough terrain with the grace of a feline, scientists at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology made a robotic cat. Using it, they can assess joint force and agility without having to harm an actual animal. Number 5, Wildcat. Not to be confused with the aforementioned Cheetah Cub, the Wildcat is the newest generation of Boston Dynamics Cheetah robot line. These machines are made for speed, traveling up to 29 miles per hour. While previous versions were indoor sorts, this one is suited to run free. Number 4, e0b Virtual Student. Stuck at home with a severe immune disorder, a student in Texas is now able to attend classes thanks to a robot. She can power the virtual version of herself via internet and participate in what's going on thanks to a webcam.
Miranda suffers from a weak immune system that doesn't allow her to attend class in person, but thanks to this robot pilot program, she's back in the classroom.
Number 3, RoboFly. It's tiny and fast, weighing only 80 milligrams and flapping its wings up to 120 times per second. Once technology advances and can make it a battery small enough, the robotic insect is predicted to be a helpful tool in search and rescue missions. Number 2, the MAB. It flies around your house, senses where it's dirty, and then deploys a bunch of tiny little cleaning bots to make the area sparkle. It's just a concept, but was enough of one to win the Electrolux Design Lab competition. Number 1, Curiosity. NASA's Mars rover has accomplished far more than any other robot can imagine, so to speak. It's only been on the red planet for about a year and a half, but has already determined that there could have once been life there. If you could design a robot, what would you make it do?
All right, guys. So here we are. I am going to put you back in your groups. You are going to go ahead and answer those 4 questions about your robot that your group chose. My 3 leaders, Clinton, Kyle, and Dane, you are going to be responsible for writing it down. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. And then we are going to come back together as a class. I will answer your questions in a second. So group 1 is Clinton, Dylan, and Joseph. go ahead and get started. Okay, group 2, it's actually going to automatically kick you guys back to me when 5 minutes is up. So you're going to have to work quickly. Okay, group 2 is Kyle, Lindsay, Luke. Nope, Luke is not here anymore. All right. Group 3 is Dane, Seth, Dane, Millie. I'm sorry, Seth, I put you in the wrong group.